Hey y'all, welcome back to the Smoke Dungeon. DB here. Today I got a treat for you. It's almost like science class, y'all. We're gonna dissect some orcs and some other beasties by taking a look at Games Workshop's Warhammer 40,000 Xenology or Xenology. I don't know. I'm gonna pronounce it Xenology, and in the comments y'all can murder me. I whatever. I'm just trying to show you some cool stuff that sits on my shelf. Now, this book is about 20, I think it came out in, let's take a look. We'll see. It's 30 bucks, yo, when I bought this, because I bought it when it came out back in 2000. What does it say here? Let's see, my friends. It would appear first published 2005, y'all. Yeah, 2005. And then this one says Games Workshop Limited 2006. So I don't know if I bought this in 2005 or 2006, whenever I bought it. But this is an awesome book written. Essentially, the gist of this is there's like a planet where the Magos Biologos studies xenos and keeps them in a zoo, essentially. And then, shit goes haywire, as it's often done. Random aside, this book is by Simon Spurrier. But here's just weird. This is DB's brain, dude, right? The producer, Mark Gascoigne. I always wanted him to be related to Paul Gascoigne. I always thought that would be cool. But yeah, whatever, for those that don't know. So, yeah, Lord Inquisitor Grundevald, very close to Grundle, but not quite. This is a message to him, or from him, I mean, about said world, right? And this is like an kind of book. GW obviously doesn't do stuff like this anymore, dude. It's just all lore and fluff. And the story here is like, it's almost like the regular kind of, it's a little bit Island of Dr. Moreau. It's a little bit, I don't know. A guy comes to the facility. He feels that it's not what it is. And then the things that are in there go crazy. But more importantly, dude, here's where this book is awesome. Okay. We get dope art like this, right? Like, check this out. So what are we looking at here? You're like, this is a Thyrus warrior, is how I'm gonna pronounce that. And we get these cool ass old school, remind me of Leonardo da Vinci, Vitruvian Man pictures here about said Xenos, right? And then we get crazy descriptions about them. Like, check this out, this crazy weapon or whatever. M, right? Detail. Unknown item. Seized at time of capture. Weapon? Question mark. Technology analogous to plasma generators suggests ballistic energy weapon with quadruple handles. Additional lights, colors, chords, purely communicative. It's like, they first found these dudes. They don't know what the hell's going on here, right? But check out his, like, arms and stuff, dude. He's got these, like, spindly arms. It's so good. So good. Right? And this is like something we don't even really see or hear about in the lore of Warhammer or, just the universe in general. I don't remember really hearing about the theorists. I've been doing this shit for 40 years. And then our story continues, right? Boom, 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 boom. Oh, what? Look at this. Give the squiddies no quarter. And you're like, what are squiddies, right? Well, that's these dudes, man. That's these crazy theorist dudes. Imperial nickname apparently is the squiddies, right? And this is just all stuff about them and cool stuff. I'm not going to go through it all, I'm of all the lore there. But check it out, dude. Let's dissect a Tau. Check it. Look at his crazy Tau heart, right? So dope. Multi-chambered Tau heart. Totally dig it. Quad ravalic heart. Arteria are distinctive from ventricles and divided by complex filter sheaths. Like, this is the crazy shit. So, like, they're not... Most of the Games Workshop stuff for, let's just say... I'm not trying to dog it out, but for, like, the past 10 years has either been, like, new lore that's, like, kind of weird or, like, just really basic shit, dude. This is back, like, look at the work that was put into here, dude. You got A through J. They're talking about the ocular organs of a Tau. That's right, his eyeballs. Lateral arrangement, 185-degree periphery, a mammalian structure analogous with human eye. Like, and then they keep going. And this is just on Tau, dude. And then they like, the work and love that was put into this is not what you see nowadays, dude. Like, plus that's just so cool. Like, a lot of this book reminds me, I grew up outside of Philadelphia, and a lot of this reminds me of the Mutter Museum, which is like a museum of scientific oddities. Same kind of deal. Super cool. Dissection report on a Tau, you know? Like, look, they're even cutting things out of them. It's crazy. Crazy. A little bit about Taus, right? Here's where we go into detail about the diamond organ in the forehead of this Tau ethereal. Rigid carapace contains ultra-dense chemohormonal fluids and an overpowering scent. Rear ganglia connects to cerebral lobe. So, like, that thing is actually attached to his brain, right? It's, I mean, just stuff like that, dude. So good. Check this picture out, dude. Commander, what's he? Is Commander Farsight. Uh-oh, what's this vaguely looking human thing? Oh, no. That's an Eldar. Eldar brain. Eldar is, it's kind of one of the wackest ones in here, if I'm being honest. But, yeah, it's still super cool. Like, you get the musculature, all that stuff. Looks like we got a soul stone right here, figure 3H. Unknown decoration, artifact, jewel. Subject has worn items since capture. Since death occurred, color has altered. Violet to red. Just like, yeah. So cool, dude. So cool. Even goes in about his clothing. Loose woven fabric, unpatterned, scout robes, material unknown. So, yeah. It's just... Obviously, this dude, I guess, would be, if it's scout robes, maybe he's like an Altiok Ranger or something. Who knows? Yeah. But just wild. You know what I mean? Oh, actually, it says unknown exodite, question mark, Eldar. And that's the other thing. Like, it gives you a really cool idea into what the Imperium actually knows about, like, various alien races. And there's a couple in here we're going to see that are super cool. And there's some details I'm going to show you which are awesome. But this is like the Majos biologists. So, like, they're supposed to know everything about all creatures great and small, or aliens great and small, right? And then you see, like, that they don't even really know, like, what a soul stone is, or certain parts of, like, things that, you know, as a person that's immersed in the lore, you would know. Right? So it's kind of cool. It gives you their perspective. I think it's super cool. Go a little bit of file on the Eldar, right? Here's some Eldar DNA in case you were wondering what that ever looked like. All right. This is always cool. I like when they do stuff like this. So this is a pick capture, right? From unknown attackers. Question Dark Eldar. And then it gives you like a date, right? But it's like a Dark Eldar thing, but then they just blur it. So it's like, yo, they're moving so fast. You don't even, the camera couldn't even catch it. It's like every picture of Bigfoot you've seen. You know what I'm saying? Where that Loch Ness Monster at? Oh, don't worry. That's just a Dark Eldar. Inquisitor Sevek. We got some correspondence, you know, going through the astropathic ducts. Doing it up. Umbra. Now, this is a weird one. This was one that, like, before this book, I had never known, and maybe it shows up in some obscure novel that I've never read or something. But they are like balls of warp energy that the story talks about. They linger by warp drives of ships, which I thought was like, I mean, that's pretty cool, dude. That's pretty cool. Because, you know, you're like, Eldar, yeah, they're shooting ninja stars at us. Orcs are just like big tough dudes, and then yada, yada, yada. All the aliens are like, even if they're not or I don't know the right word. They're not like human-like, right? And they like kind of, we can understand their values and stuff. Like most of them, and like what they're into, they're all very, very similar in that respect. The major alien races and stuff, right? But then you come to something like this that they have in here, and they're just like, yo, it's just a crazy black sphere of like weird warp. It's got jelly in it, but it like hangs out near warp drives and shit. Like, it's so bonkers, dude. Give me more of that stuff. Like, where's that at, right? I don't see anything like that in the new stuff. But Umbra, yeah. Kroot. There's this part of this story that Kroot like goes wild and starts eating people and stuff, if I remember correctly. Now here we come to the humble orc, or in this case, a black orc. And one of the things that I think is awesome, particularly about the orc, besides the artwork here, right? We got like, shows his bones, how they had like screws and stuff in them. And then we get his brain up here and his teeth. But over here, where it's, where he's like all cut open, there's one part, I'm trying to see where it is. D, letter D, over here. So it points to this, but it says, paunch and diseased skin, specific. Result of captivity, i.e. lack of exercise, sunlight, diet, isolation, see library files. Internal organ characteristics of simple, robust paradigm. Like, dude, basically he's saying because the orc is like in a jail cell, he's getting fat or whatever. And like orcs basically, I don't know, you know, like the more they war and stuff, the bigger they get. Like stronger and that sort of thing. They become diesel, y'all. But like this one, he's just a fatty. He's just a fatty, man. You know? I mean, he's still an orc. He can still work you. But, yeah. I mean, how cool is that, y'all? How cool is that? Enlarged dominant orcoid. Orcus nigra. So he's like a black orc, I guess. Yeah. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And then we got some, you know, things about the orc in here, dude. And how they, like, observed and studied the wall and all that kind of crazy stuff. Talks about specialist orcs. How orcs do they thing. Then we come to the Kroot, y'all. Look at that. What's that? Is that a Kroot heart? Oh, no. You'd think it's a heart, but it says unknown organ. Appears distinct, but segued with digestive tract, incorporating capillaries. Non-blood carrying, though. You know? It's pretty cool. Cut his leg in half. Let's do a little dissection. Got his bone feathers over here. What's it say about his quills up top? Predator quills. Note, beet-like protuberance, extreme density. Nictating lens array suggests acuity and long-sightedness beyond human. Yeah, well, it's definitely beyond me because I'm struggling to read this shit. Nasal channels are large, suggest high sensitivity. So, you know, like he's a good sniffer. Good sniffer, right? He probably didn't like being next to that orc who was fat and stunk. More stuff about Zekrutin. We like it, dude. Kroot and a human's blood cell. Like, just the level of detail that is in this book is nuts. And I feel like this is the stuff, I mean, I feel like they just got to do like one or two of these books a year maybe. And things would be a lot better. Check it out. I don't even know how to pronounce this one, dude. The Quarrel. Quarrel? We could call him the Carl. Carl! Fucking Carls. Yeah, he's like a bird man. Not a bird man. Apologies. He is a bug man. He may be a very early Vespid type beastie. You know what I mean? That's what he reminds me of, except he doesn't have wings. And I feel like these dudes were alluded to at some point back in Rogue Trader. Yeah. Super cool. Like, look at the crazy laser thing on there. Quarrel weapon, technological process unknown. Gaseous? Uh-oh, keep him away from that crew. Maybe you got a fart gun. Operational base plate appears compatible with interface port. I mean, yeah, they're like one step away from plugging that shit into somebody to see how it works. So cool, dude. So cool. Just insane. The Quarrel Swarm Lord and Environs. It's an administrative record. So see, yeah, like, look, he's pretty sure these dudes eventually became Vespids, or maybe not, who knows. Sometimes I feel like I remember all the Warhammer lore, and then other times, like, I'm like, Marnius, who? That picture's pretty dope. I like that. Oh, yeah, so they're all the way over there in the tower over there, so maybe they aren't Vespids. I don't know. Maybe I should reread that part instead of just looking at the pictures because they're cool. Uh-oh. Gene Stealers. Check it. So dope. Look at this hot fire. The octopus Gene Stealer head is far and away, or Lictor head, I guess that's what that is. But the Emerald Gene Stealer is, I mean, this original one is super cool too. But that one with the tentacle faces, he's always my favorite. So, yeah. What's your favorite Gene Stealer? So cool, dude. They got a little more detail in here because I feel like they might know a little bit more about Gene Stealers. He goes all the way to, they got E up on each of them. So, what's it say about figure 1E? Detail. Amputated tongue ovipositor. That's right. That's the Gene Stealer's tongue, dude. That's dope. Hardened column of ribbed muscle with budded taste cilia at rear and hollow chitinous ovipositor at the front. That's right. I'm reading you a textbook about Gene Stealers in this motherfucker. Reproductive organism delivered to victim's body via muscular contraction where genetic reproductive alterations begin. He basically pukes it through his tongue, through a hole in his tongue, into your mouth on some aliens type shit. So dope. Flesh hooks. Flesh hooks. More Tyranids, dude. Let's see what it says about the old venom spitter. I believe that's what that is. J. Where's J at? Oh. Secondary organism. Parasitic creature without evident neural nexus. Deriving sustenance from subject via organ seed pod yolks at hub of peristalactic muscle column. Functions as a living weapon. Rudimentary musculature. Firing mechanism to deliver larval ammunition into enemy flesh. I mean, this shit will improve your vocabulary too, without a doubt. That's my general observation of this book. So good though. A little ripper. This crazy thing that looks suspiciously like a beholder, but it is not, dude. It is K, letter K. Unknown organ removed from thoracic node. Black porous spongy texture. Immersed in inert oily fluid. Yo, if you're immersed in an inert oily fluid, you are definitely suspect. You need to go see somebody. You know what I'm saying? So good. You can see like some bullet holes in it too. Super cool. Tyranids. We're not even at the coolest one yet, you know. Well, for me anyway. More Tyranids. We got some dope sketches back here too. I mean, just so cool. Oh, here we are. This is my dude. The Frud. Subject, Troglodytium hrudi. That's right, dude. Hrud. I always thought they were like scavens, right? Like rat space scavens is what you're always led to believe. And maybe that's what they're gonna turn them back into or whatever. Who the fuck knows? But about 20 years ago, they were weird ass. I don't even know what you call these dudes. They're like slimy. Yeah, I don't even know, man. Let's see if it tells us what their slime is here. That's the weapon. No detail. Prism. Hrud. F is maybe F. Endoskeleton structure. Subject's body contains few supportive bones, comprising instead multiple interlinked vertebrae structures, human spine within muscular column. Conclusion, all parts of the subject's bodies, limbs, fingers, neck, spine, are prehensile, allowing unrestricted movement, characteristic of a subterranean existence. Its reproductive system, you ever wondered how a hrud is getting down for the crowd here? Where's it at? G. I don't even see G on this damn thing. It's on there somewhere. Oh, it is. Oh, who knew? Our Hrud's balls are where his balls are. Tissue liquefaction prevents study. Evidence of womb-like formation suspended upon rudimentary tail. So maybe this was a lady Hrud. Oh, it is. Female gender. Lady Hrud, dude. Yeah. So crazy. And the lady Hrud had triple-bladed claw structure with concealed toxin channels. Speculation. Scavenged Dark Elder artifact. So, like, are the Hrud using other people's shit? Who knows? Who knows, right? He has a bionic limb. Imperial issue is part of the Hrud there. Scavenged again? They don't know. Just stuff like that opens up so many things, dude. Then you could convert your own Hrud or just use some other counts as Hrud. Like, so freaking dope. So dope. But he's definitely not like a Skaven man, right? I mean, his head up here, endoskeleton analogous to human skull, albeit composed of semi-silicate resin. Like, what? Okay. Okay. Conclusion. Subject's sensory apparatus supports theory of nocturnal subterranean existence. I mean, it's just so crazy. And then here's like a story about the Thrud. Like, what? That's that back in the day. That's 20 years ago. That's a picture of a speculation, artist impression of a Hrud minus typical shrouds as taken from various supposed eyewitness accounts. So they're always wearing like rags and shit, kind of like a plague monk Skaven. But yeah, and you see how like the goo is like all that shit, like his whole body is prehensile. Like, bonkers, dude. Bonkers. Crud. Uh-oh. And you know what's happening? What always happens at the end of these stories? Dudes show up and they blast-a-tron people. Check it out. This is dope. This is like the miscellanea. It's like, these are just random things. Like this is a Demiurge survey glass. You know what they are? Space dwarfs, right? This here is a word squig. A weird squig. You know what I'm saying? This one is one of my favorites, dude. The Viscian fetus limb. Look, he's like a pickled punk, dude. It's like an aborted baby with like a giant friggin' arm. So cool. Droog mouth parts. Then just a bionic arm. So good. And then over here it tells you about all these things, right? So what's it say about the fetus? Preserved formaldehyde organic structure labeled Viscione fetus limb. Scant imperial records suggest Viscione race faces extinction following absorption of unnamed homeworld by Tyranids. Despite preservation, cellular structure has decomposed. Outward impressions suggest an adult upper limb severed with clean laser monofilament. Regenerative growth in initial stages. An unformed fetus has developed. So basically this arm got lasered off and it's turning into a whole new one. Or it was. They preserved it, obviously, and it stopped at that time, you would assume. But like basically this thing is going to turn into the rest of whatever that arm is from. You know, like, so cool. I don't know. I wanted to share this with y'all. Just sits on my shelf. Glyphs. You know? Some ancient, what is that? Look, a little bit of Aztec action. It's ancient aliens, y'all. Where's my boy Georgie? Necrons coming to talk to you. Archaeostylus pick. Darvis opens cell number 1. Open cell number 1, and this Necron kills you, bro. Like, this is more Necron stuff. More Necron stuff. Know thine enemy, for you are known to him already. The Ordos Xenos. You know what I'm saying? Super cool. I really wish Games Workshop would make stuff like this again, or still. I don't know. I have a couple other of the books from this range. These were like, the Liber Chaoticas came out around the same time. I have a couple of them. I know I have Slaanesh, because, yeah, I'm into that. And, trying to think. Maybe probably Nurgle. Yeah. I don't know. Just something I wanted to share with you. Wanted to take you to school. Do a little science. Do a little xenology down here in the dungeon. You know? Be good to one another. Do what you feel.